Hey guys, Chris here from Lifeline EMS Training. Today we're going to go over synchronized cardioversion. So it's the vectored defibrillation on the R wave. So it ensures we don't hit the patient on their repolarization phase or their T wave. So what do you need for synchronized cardioversion? You need quick combo pads. When you sync cardiovert, you're monitoring the underlying rhythm. When you deliver the energy goes down, you get an energy delivery spike or a shock spike, and then you start to reuptake that signal of the EKG. So unlike pacing, you don't need the electrodes and the pads, you just need pads. It's good to know when you have a person who's in an unstable tachydysrhythmia that needs energy quick. So quick reminder on pads: anterior, lateral pad under the pit, so you just see the front of it. You can also do anterior, posterior. So anterior lateral pads, like we said, delivers the energy. Anterior, posterior, so you got two different types. Version one is you leave the anterior pad to the right of the mediastinum, take the lateral pad and put it just to the left of the spine, posterior. So you're shocking across and through the heart. And then you have version two, where you take the anterior pad, go right of the mediastinum, and then the lateral pad to the left of the spine. So when do we use synchronized cardioversion? So we use synchronized cardioversion for unstable tachydysrhythmias. They're unstable because their perfusion is low. Their perfusion is low, which means we're squirting a medication, it's not going to effectively be distributed through the body and out to the tissues. So we need to deliver energy to try and get that control alt delete. So here's an example of a wide complex monomorphic tachycardia or ventricular tachycardia. And heart rate's above 150. They have that poor cardiac output, low end tidal, poor pulse ox pleth. Their blood pressure is probably going to be very, very low. This is the person who will receive that energy. When we're doing this, we have an irritable site, whether it's the AV node for an AV nodal reentry tachycardia, atrial myocytes for rapid atrial fibrillation or accelerated AFib. And so when you look at this, you have, in this case, we're going to call this the VTAC patient. They have that irritable myocyte or cluster of myocytes in their ventricle that's overrunning, taking over. They're kind of like the group in the rave that's kind of like taking all the attention and generating the impulse that's going across and creating that electrical activity and that contraction, which is nowhere near as efficient as the normal conduction pathway. So when we hit our sync button, the monitor looks for a nice rhythm over the last three waves, and it tries to find that R wave and it marks it. So what happens is when you charge your capacitor, so you pick your energy, you charge your capacitor, you push the button, it only delivers that energy when that caret or that arrow occurs. Synchronized cardioversion, the best analogy I can think of is like a TENS unit. You have that stubborn, contracted muscle that's just out of whack, and you need to get it to release, right? You need it to go out of contracture, cramping, whatever. So you use electrical impulses to get it to disrupt its signaling it's currently occurring in so that it goes back to normal function. So when you look at a TENS unit, it uses those impulses to overrun or take over that muscle contraction, trying to get it to reset and stop doing what it's doing if it's, pinned or tied up. So we want to reset it. We want to put it back into normal function. So what are the steps for that? Well, the steps are you hit sync, so you verify you have the R wave markers, and then you have to pick your energy, and then that energy gets charged into the capacitor in the back of the monitor. And then you hold the shock button down until the energy is delivered, because you have to wait for the next marker. So you hold it down until the next marker. There's your shock wave. So you've lost signal uptake because you delivered energy, and now you have signal back. They're still in the same rhythm. They have a pulse. So now we can go up in energy. Same steps. Verify we have our marker, charge our capacitor, hold the shock button down until the energy is discharged. Now we have a conversion. So now we want to assess our patient, figure out what the underlying cause is. Here we see we have some couplets, so it's probably an irritable foci in the ventricle. Do a 12 lead, get a blood pressure, get the history, all the good stuff. So those are the steps for synchronized cardioversion. So we have Brian playing Mark the patient. We have him fully hooked up because we were doing our assessment, and we found that he's in a wide complex monomorphic tachycardia above 150, and he's unstable. He's poor perfusion, low end tidal, low blood pressure, low pulse ox pleth, and he's also altered and out of it. So synchronized cardioversion, we just need the pads. So we go through our steps. We're gonna hit our sync, check to make sure we have our R wave markers, drop our energy to 100, charge it up, You're clear, I'm clear, we're all clear. Shocking. Shock delivered. And he's still in VTAC. We see the pulse ox pleth matches. We verify he still has a pulse. So we hit sync one more time. Verify our markers, go up in our energy. And you're clear, I'm clear, we're all clear. Shocking delivered. And we see a cardioverted sinus rhythm here. So we see change in rhythm, check our pulse, verify we have it matching. It matches the pulse ox pleth. Our end tidal's starting to come up. Grab a new pressure.
It hurt.
All right, Mark. Sorry about that. We had to use some electricity to get your heart to come back online, start acting appropriate again. I'm sorry about that. We'll give you some medicine to help take the pain away. So here we have the ICD, the internal cardio defibrillator. So it's like an internal synchronized cardioverter looking for those same waveforms that we're looking for. The SVTs, the rapid AFibs, the VTACs. And they run the leads in through the heart, just like a pacemaker. Same probe, coil, spear, or like an arrowhead, or they actually just seat the probe in. And when we commonly see the issues with these is when it's a lead issue or it's a misfiring issue. So the person is getting constant states of firing when they don't need to, or it misses that fire. So how can we reset it? Well, some of us still carry magnets. You can take the magnet, put it on top of where that is, and it will actually deactivate the device. So then you can take over with your monitor defibrillator. Make sure yours is set up before you opt to do this. And then you also need to really appreciate the fact that why was the device actually delivering that energy? It could be that the person does have an accurate underlying rhythm that is problematic. The other thing to look at is the person's device actually firing that appropriate rhythm, and you just need to help give them some sedation so that their internal monitor continues to try and convert that rhythm. Also, I've had it before where the person's ICD was firing, it was delivering the energy, the person was in VTAC, it would kick out because we were monitoring on them on our monitor, and the VTAC would come back. So what we opted to do was, as opposed to hooking them up to the pads and delivering higher dose, we opted to get them that amiodarone drip, and it actually broke them out of it. So that's synchronized cardioversion. We hope that helped. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit us up at info@lifelineemstraining.com, and we hope you have a great day.